Hi, Leo and Staffan of Century. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Yeah, we're doing great. I agree. Yeah.
Excellent. So, how did you get into the music, first of all?
Well, maybe like Judas Priest and all that old kind of like metal from the 80s. Maybe when I was like 6 years old.
We weren't 6 years old in the 80s, but yeah, we find out about.
Yeah.
I don't really know when you got into it, but for me it was I didn't really listen to much music until I discovered Iron Maiden, and so I started listening to them when I was a kid, and it's been kind of on the same path since then.
So,
yeah.
how old were you when you started to play an instrument?
I was 12.
Okay, that's
What about
early.
you, Ryan?
Yeah, I was maybe 9 when I started playing guitar and drums. So,
And how does that work in Sweden?
I don't know. I had like at my school like an I don't know what you call it, like vad fan heter det?
Like you can rent stuff probably.
Yeah,
You can start a lot of like rehearsal spaces and stuff.
Yeah,
that,
exactly,
at least back in the day that you can rent, or you can even like apply for like starting bands or projects or whatever. So you could get access to a rehearsal space or studio and stuff like that. So.
So now, fast forward.
Right.
When did Century form?
We formed in 2020 during the pandemic. I just finished building a studio with my friend and I wanted to record something new. So I asked Leo to record some heavy metal songs with me that I'd started on. And it turns out that Leo had a lot of ideas lying around and riffs and stuff that would work well with mine. So we just got together and made the demo.
Yeah.
When you formed the band, who did you want to be like? Like, what were your influences?
I wanted to be like myself probably. I didn't really think about much like that. But I think in terms of music, we were listening to a lot of obviously new wave of British heavy metal music, but also old Swedish bands from the 80s like Mindless Sinner or Gotham City, nothing like that.
Were you in on any other bands before, prior to Century?
Yeah, we were in a few bands. We played in a like, speed metal band called Toronto. And
Both of you?
Yeah, both of us.
I was in Little Steel. I started that band like in 2011 with the singer, and then I took like a lot of stuff from there when I started this.
Like leftover ideas.
Leftover stuff.
So by the time you got to Century, you had band experience, instrument experience, and you basically had a clear picture of what you wanted.
Pretty much, yeah.
And what came out, did it meet your expectations?
It exceeded them actually. We just put out our demo tape then as soon as we had finished the demo, and for some reason a lot of people find out about it, and we got more attention than we had expected, which was obviously flattering.
So when that demo came out, I mean, how did people hear it?
Well, we don't really know how it happened. But
how did it get out?
We just uploaded it, and then like 24 hours later, like all the tapes were gone, and there were people asking to work with us with their labels and stuff like that. Henry being one of them. Henry's who's over here right now for Electric Assault Records. So.
Okay.
So.
At that point, did you play any shows?
No. We played our first show at Keep It True, like maybe a year later.
When like the pandemic like restrictions
Yeah,
started
exactly.
being lifted a bit, we played. We played Keep It True Festival in Germany.
Yeah.
That was the first show.
Yes.
Now you followed that up with 2 singles, right? Can you tell me about those?
Like as soon as we finished the demo and we sold all those, we started working on a full-length album, and then we released the first song from that album almost a year ago now at this point, which is called The Fighting Eagle, and then we followed it up later now with a song called Master of Hell that we also released on a tape. And both of those songs are coming up on the album in April.
And now the album, right? You have a full-length album coming out. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, it's it's been recorded like because of all the waiting times for the vinyl. So it's been recorded. It was finished maybe 1.5 years ago. So we have only been waiting for.
It's a mixing and mastering
Yeah,
and
exactly.
vinyl production took a long time, but it's finally coming out, and we started writing it at the same time as we started writing the demo, so it's more of the same style essentially.
And how would you generally describe your music?
Well, it's like heavy metal in the way that it sounded in like the early 80s mostly. So it's pretty melodic, but still kind of rough and not too polished, I think. Yeah, pretty much that.
Now, you are already touring United States without the album even being out.
Yeah.
Very bold move. How's it going?
It's going great. We just played our first show yesterday night in Cleveland, and it was pretty wild. We didn't really expect. We were playing with a few other like death metal and black metal bands, so we were kind of the odd one out. But people seemed to like it, so it was fun.
How did that even happen? I mean, there are bands with multiple albums who never made it to US. You don't even have an official album out, yet you're here.
Yeah, well, that was all thanks to Henry actually from Electric Assault Records once again, who was really excited to bring us over
He made
here.
it all this happen.
Yeah, it's all.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So,
Yeah.
Both of you are the only two members of this band. How does it work?
Well, we both write music like separately. We both write on guitar, even though Leo plays drums on the record and live. So we get together in the studio and we record our new song ideas, and then we kind of take turns in adding bass and guitar and vocals and stuff on that. And now that we're on the tour, we have two good friends of ours, which is Isak and Edde, who are playing bass, and Isak is playing guitar and singing backup vocals. So we have a full band setup when we play live like this, even though it's just the two of us on the records.
Do you find that being only a two-member band allows you to agree more on things?
Yeah, it's much. You don't have to like compromise as much if you're like a five-guy band.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy. Like
I think we don't really have any like we probably would have get along just as well if like with Isak and Ed, for example. But since you and I write music very in the same way, like very similar styles, it's very convenient for us to just like if I write a riff, for example, then you already know what I mean and you know what drums to put on it and stuff like that. So it's very
self-explanatory.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it works intuitively.
Do you eventually plan to expand, or you want to keep it as a two-man operation?
We're probably gonna keep recording just as the two of us, but who knows? And then Isak are more or less a fixed part of the band already, since they play all the shows with us and we talk to them about everything, so they're already members in that sense. So
from the lyrical standpoint of view, what are your songs about?
Bunch of different stuff. Some of them are like inspired by real life stuff, like just having to go to work when you don't want to, stuff like that. But there are also songs that are based on movies and anything that comes to mind really. I'm still new when it comes to writing lyrics, so I kind of it's easy to base it on something like a movie or a book or something. So borrowing a lot of stuff from there.
What is your local metal scene like in Stockholm? I believe you're from, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. There aren't that much. I think I'm not up to.
Well, it's kind of like a different sort of scenes at the same time. Like even a lot of the bands that play in Sweden are kind of based somewhere else, or vice versa. So it's kind of split up. I feel like, but there are a few really cool bands, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we're not like it's hard to be a representative of like a whole group of people like that, where everyone does different things. So it's just,
exactly.
kind of just do our own thing and.
We don't care about all that.
Why the name Century?
I think you came up with it.
Is there a story behind it?
No, it's just like I thought like a cool word, like bands like Universe, Neptune. It doesn't mean anything, but it's like sounds cool. One word.
Yeah, and also it kind of fits because it's kind of like has like a historic.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, almost like an epic connotation to it, with like being. Like I don't know, significant in the ways that it's many years.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
It just sounded cool and it kind of fit with what we're doing. So,
when you're not playing music, what things are you into?
Well, for a lot of the time we play music, but other than I'm really into movies. I am a big fan of like horror movies and stuff like that, and also other kinds of movies. So I collect movies and try to see as much as I can in the cinema, stuff like that.
Do you have any favorites?
Well, when we have a release party in Stockholm, I'm going to see The Beyond by Lucio Fulci on the same night. So I'm thinking of going right after the sound check to go see that movie and then go back to the venue. That's
okay.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
What about you? What things are you into?
drinking beer.
Yeah,
Maybe, I don't know.
and it works so well when you're playing music too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Drunk all the time.
Yeah.
Finally, what are your hopes for the future, for the album, for anything?
Well, we hope people like it, obviously, and right now we're just focusing on the rest of this tour. We're going to be away for a while, and we're just kind of getting into it. So, taking one thing at a time, finishing this tour, coming home, doing the release shows, and then we have a lot of new songs that we haven't had time to work on yet. So, there's already a pre-production started for a second album as well. So.
You're not sleeping, are you?
Not at all. Never.
Well,
Any final words?
Keep supporting us and buy the album.
Yeah, it's called The Conquest of Time, and it comes out on Electric Assault Records in April, and the 21st of April to be exact.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.